Hey all, Hibber here, welcome back to the channel, and today we're looking at Divinity Original Sin 2 and how it runs on the new Switch 2 console. So obviously Divinity Original Sin 2 has been ported to a lot of different platforms, but the new Switch 2 version, it actually loads a lot faster than on Switch 1. But unfortunately that is one of the really, well, if not the only, plus that it actually has over the original version for the OG Switch. Now, Divinity 2 has never been the best looking game on Switch 2, and it's always been a bit murky, a bit, messy, and it has been running, and it's been running okay. The frame rate has never been super stable, like only if you really zoom in, it runs at about 30. But when you run the game on Switch 2, like what I'm doing here, the frame rate at least looks like a steady 30 no matter what you're doing, which is good. Sometimes the game could get a little bit chuggy in places with a lot of effects, like a lot of magic going off and stuff like that, and it always performed better indoors than outdoors. But now the performance is the same no matter what you're doing in the game basically, and that's a good thing. Now, what hasn't changed and probably never will change unless we get an actual patch for the game from Larian is the resolution and the effects in general. Now, the resolution is pretty low. At least it doesn't scale as bad as it did on the Switch 1. And the environment or the area I'm in right now is one of the worst performing ones on the original Switch. And it runs fairly well here. Usually on Switch 1 you'd have to zoom in this area to get an acceptable frame rate. But as you can tell, it runs at a pretty steady 30 frames per second here, even when you zoom in. I would love to have it run at 60, but it looks like the game is locked to 30 or something along those lines. So yeah, definitely the load times are better, right? And the frame rate is steady, but the game is still a little bit on the disappointing side when it comes to resolution and how blurry everything looks. For example, if you fire up the same game on an iPad, right, you can see the difference here. Look at how smooth the frame rate is. The game runs at least 60 here, no doubt about it. And the resolution is way higher and the textures are way better. And this is on an iPad Pro from 2021, right? So it's fairly old, 4 years old. And it just blows the Switch away, and it even blows the Switch 2 away. Now, I would love to see the game running like this on the Switch 2. I don't know if it's possible, and like I said, it will require Larian to actually patch the game. I hope they do, because who knows, maybe they will even, give us Baldur's Gate 3 on the Switch 2, and that will require some engineering for sure. So let's go back to the Switch 2 version here, and you can see it's not as good as on the iPad. So I'd like to see Larian give us a patch that gives us the equivalent of the iPad version on the Switch 2. Until then, there's not much to come for here, unfortunately. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you out there.